Holy shit, man. What a fucking game. Oh, man, I'm cursing already. But that was so nerve-wracking. Here in the Czech Republic, this game started at like 2:15 a.m. And I did not watch from that time because I simply was too tired. I did not plan it out as well as I thought I did, even though I took some naps before the game. I simply was not able to be up at 2:15 and be able to actually, you know, enjoy the game somewhat, even though it's hard to enjoy a playoff game with the nerves that come in. But I did wake up like at 5 a.m. here because my stomach started to hurt, and I had a dream that we lost by, like 20 points. And I started to get so nervous, and I didn't want to start watching the game because, well, if I turn on the TV, there would be, there could be the end of the game or the result. So I just simply tried to go back to sleep. I couldn't sleep, and then I finally stopped chickening out. Thankfully, I did not see anything about the game, and we went on. I went on to watch it at 5:50 a.m. Woke up my mom like 2 times because of it, and good God, man, this was probably the best playoff game so far. There have been some good storylines. Lions against the Rams was, of course, a great game, but it did not have quite the ending like this one did. And thank God we move on, man. It was, obviously, you can be as negative as you want because it was not like the perfect win, of course, right? There were a lot of bad things about this game from the Niners side, but at the end of the day, you're moving on in the playoffs and you're in the NFC Championship game that you'll be hosting. So who the fuck cares that it was absolutely ugly and there were a lot of mistakes and not enough intensity, maybe? But at the same time, you gotta give props to Green Bay, who was, they were on one, and Jordan Love has been on one. Aaron Jones, of course, since he's been back, has been on one. They have some great receivers, man, and they have obviously came in with some really great momentum, securing the playoffs, dominating the Cowboys in their home, who a lot of people thought would finally break through, and they did not. So it was insane. And when we started with the punt, and Purdy almost had the first pass of the game pretty much, I'm pretty sure, intercepted. I was like, oh God. And we know how he struggled in the rain against Cleveland, which was an ugly game in and of itself. And this felt a lot like Cleveland. Instead, we got a different outcome, of course, which, thank God, man. I'm still kind of on a high, even though it's been like, how many hours? 7 hours? 8 hours already since the game? Maybe less. I don't know, but it's been a long time, and I'm still kind of hyped and can't can't stop it from the mind. Uh, Thank God they called the turnover on downs here. That was a clutch stop at 4-1. It could have been maybe a first down, but hey, refs can make mistakes. And then we finally had a great drive, and I felt like, hey, we're gonna destroy them now after Purdy finally, broke through here, got comfortable, made a great pass to Kittle, deep right, as you can of course read here, but it was a great pass. It floated right into Kittle's arms, perfect into the pocket. And I was like, yeah, Purdy's locked in now. But Green Bay responded really well. And once again, thank God we were able to stop them in the red zone in the first half, which obviously was the biggest plus of the first half. Then we went conservative at the end of the first half, which with 3 timeouts, a chance to score, get a lead. Even if they score back, we still have the ball to start the second half. It felt like Shanahan kind of overthanked that one, or even maybe, chickened out in this one, did not go aggressive enough as you would like him to. And then we, of course, had the field goal blocked for Moody, which has been one of the biggest scares of the postseason for the Niners, as you have a rookie kicker that had some mishaps during the regular season. The Browns game, the last game of the season against the Rams, coming into the postseason. So it was not perfect, obviously, the first half, how we expected. Then we started off with a punt in the third quarter. And yeah, Purdy was just off. Purdy was just really off today until the final drive. He just did not have it in him. He did still make some good plays, and thankfully he did not get picked off, which was great. Then, of course, the punt return here was fucking absurd, man. The special teams really pissed that off. And, otherwise, the defense in the second half was really good besides the special teams blunder. The defense really locked down in the second half after the second touchdown. we had that interception that was kind of lucky, kind of on Jordan Love because he threw it poorly and it got tipped in. Dre Greenlaw at the right place at the right time. He had a great pick there. Then Jake Moody, they trusted him with a 52-yard field goal and he made it. And that's a great sign for things to come, right? It shouldn't rain at the NFC Championship game. The weather is supposed to be pretty all right. The chance of rain are at like 5% right now. I know it's a week away, but still a good sign because you don't want to play in the rain again. Purdy clearly does not like that rain. And then we forced a punt, which was great. Jordan Love was a little off there, and he kind of got rattled after they got up by 7 in the second half. He kind of lost his touch and was maybe a little too over the place afterwards. But he obviously was still sensational in the second half. And after what I saw from him in the first half, my professional, Czech Republic white boy eye test was thinking, and I don't mean this, hopefully this doesn't get taken the wrong way, but he really looked bad. It's not about anything, obviously. He just looked bad in the first half, and I was like, damn, he's gonna be really bad. And then he absolutely turned it around and started to look like a goddamn, like, he started to look like Brett Favre, Aaron Rodgers' successor that's gonna be successful. And I gotta give him huge props because I did not see it coming based on his play early on. And obviously, thank God they missed the field goal. We got lucky there. Aaron Jones went on a huge run and that was nasty. Some bad penalties. The defense was not as good as I needed it to be. Green Bay's offensive line played well, but at the end of the day, man, Chase Young has not been great. Nick Bosa did not get anything done today, so hopefully we get to see more havoc against Detroit or Tampa. But Detroit has a great offensive line, man. That could be a shootout, man, especially if the weather is good. And then, thankfully, afterwards, Brock Purdy on the final drive finally started to deal, man. Juwan Jennings, I bet on him to have the over on yards on the relap, and I bet on him to have more than 35 receiving yards because I thought he was going to get targeted on those third downs, which he usually does since he was back. And with Debo, of course, going out with an injury, which hopefully is not nothing serious. It was a great pick by me, obviously. And Brock Purdy finally started to deal, man. He was great on this drive. Brandon Ayuk made an incredible catch here with 3:38 remaining. That was an absolute beauty by Ayuk. And it kind of bailed out George Kittle, who had a drop right before that, where that was a bad drop by Kittle. And then you had Conley, the unsung hero, with Debo out getting a 17-yard catch. And then Purdy had a great scramble, which was incredible for 9 yards to his left. He moved the ball really well there. They did not take a timeout, so we could even get the clock down to 1 minute. CMC, the MVP of the NFL, in my opinion. Lamar is the MVP, man. Let me stop. But CMC is right there. Let's just put it that way. And then Jordan Love, thankfully, got rattled, and he threw a really dumb ball, and things went our way at the end of the day, right? It was one of those games, especially with Kyle Shanahan being like 0-30, heading into the fourth quarter down 7 or some crazy start like that because, well, he never had a quarterback he could trust, and he trusted Brock today, and thankfully it paid off. But thank God Jordan Love kind of went crazy in there, and Dre Greenlaw not wanting to go down was fucking hilarious, man. The man wanted to get that pick 6, and he always just starts running around when he gets picks. I don't know, in the regular season against Wu, he did get a pick, but it was more of the same here in the postseason. And we move on to the NFC title game. We got kind of lucky in some ways. I would also say we rallied at the right time, and we took advantage of those breaks, man. Sometimes you just need some luck. And it went our way, and I couldn't be happier. Hopefully, Brock, it doesn't rain next week, and he can be more clean because today he could have gotten picked off at least once or twice, but he did not. And I guess we'll never know what's going to happen. If he wins the Super Bowl, who cares? And otherwise, a great game. Hopefully, Debo's going to be all right. And man, I can't wait to see who we play, if it's going to be Detroit or Tampa. I'm expecting Detroit. I don't see them losing to Tampa at home. But hey, Tampa has a dog in them, so maybe they obviously have a chance, but I'm expecting a Niners Lions NFC Championship game, and I'm expecting the Niners to be way more ready than that, way more efficient than they were today, especially if it does not rain. Nonetheless, this was my Niners talk because I just wanted to talk about it, man. It was a nerve-wracking game, best game of the NFL playoffs so far. Tonight we have great games on the slate, like I said, Bucks, Lions, and oh yeah, Chiefs, Bills, man. Chiefs are winning. Anyway, yeah, if you want to talk about this game, leave a comment below, like and subscribe if you want to hear a check you talk about sports, because that's what I do. And as always, be kind to yourself and to others. Love and be.